Well, when it comes to teachers, they always come to you and say, "What will you want to be when you grow up? Come on, you could do better than that." They're very supportive, engaging, until you go to university. Ooh. Now, what triggered me to talk about this topic is I just got off the phone, probably half an hour conversation with my former classmate, who's still currently studying the course that I was in. It's a 4 year Bachelor of Social Work, and she is so afraid and she is so negative. And I know a lot of students dropped out because of certainly these unsupportive teachers. Now, whether this is more of testing us or try to prepare us, wow, they are so scary. You know, the way how they use their words, their verbal, it's like a verbal abuse, to be honest. And unfortunately, there's nothing much you can do about it because they're up there. And there's there's ways to talk about it, but many students avoid to talk about this sort of topic. And you know, this girl, she couldn't think straight. She's scared of seeing the teacher. She's gone to the stage is that she wants to isolate or keep a distance away from this teacher. And I told her, you know what, you got one more and 3 months left or 1 year and a half left of school or uni. Just put your head down, and when you complete your university, and you look back at it and say, how I overcome these hard challenges in life. Now, it's not very easy to over challenge, when you invest your time, your all your time and effort to do your studies. And when you have one-on-one meeting with these teachers, I'm pretty sure you have favorite teachers, the ones that soft, they be kind, and the other ones very, very brutal, like up there. They're very, very up. Won't give you extensions. They won't give you this. They won't, help you out or guide you out. And even though they say they are, and they will try to make some excuse, make it sound like it's your fault for not doing anything. For example, my classmate, the friend that she's coming from, newly arrived migrant, and she's introverted in class. Like she's very shy to raise her hand up, and the teacher stated like, "Why didn't you raise your hand up in class?" And that's your fault for not raising your hand in class. That's your fault for not listening properly. And sometimes, you got lectures and tutorials, and especially you go for your tutorial teachers. It's the most important one because they're the ones that's marking. And then, of course, you got the lecture teachers. It's the second marker. Now you got these teachers who, they can be soft or very, very aggressive. Now, this is where I'm going to post the video. Please don't get triggered on this sort of videos. I'm just showing you the experience it is. It is happened to be very, very extreme feminist teachers, and very, 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 very up there. And many students, and like what we try to do our academia, and we usually don't really care. But when they're unsupportive or make it very negative, or if you ask for help or you ask for one-on-one, don't expect something in good return. All right. So that's what I learned about it. Now I remember my first year in uni, first semester, and I didn't quite understand the question, the assessment, the final question. Is social heart a bleeding heart do-gooders? And if you agreed, write 2,000 words. If you do not agree, write 2,000 words. Now, at that time, I didn't quite understand what's bleeding heart do-gooders. And I did raise my hand. I tried to send emails to my tutorial teacher and still couldn't get to me. Until today, I do understand. Are they doing it for good heart, or they don't care about it, just want to help, or are you make things better or not? by helping them? Are you just doing it for money, or are you there to help them? Or are you there for the money, or ruin? Is it for the industry? Now, I could absolutely tell you this, and unfortunately, social work in this industry in Australia is pretty much is a bleeding heart too good. There's a very small percentage on having positive results, because you based on KPIs, you based on um, you know um, you based on strength based, you based on plan, strength based 5 column approach, person centered approach, and you use, what's that word again, system theories, and you use holistic theories, feminists. It's always go back to feminist theories, and it's all about hating the government. And well, the sad part is that the government own you guys, because the government give you funding, and the teachers, they want you to march, go against the government. If you go against the government, then you pretty much lose your job, because the government's the one is can pretty much give you funding. If it wasn't for the government, then you don't have funding. So you complain that the government give you less funding. Now, what I could absolutely tell you is that you shouldn't see social work or social problem as a business model. But however, in this industry with corporation, and it's all about KPIs, annual reports, to 100% or 85% relying on government funding, right? So if your annual report's great, that's all that matters. But you put a short amount of time investing with each of your clients, right? When you fix on clients, it just doesn't work. Anyways, I think I'm going off the topic, but I think you can't understand what I'm trying to say. It's just that these teachers are like, especially head of the especially the one with a very very high ranking teachers are very very, you thought they're world experienced, they're there for 20 or 30 odd years in this industry or in this campus, and you thought that they know in and out of the whole assessment, and they can be pretty helpful to you, right? But no, it feels like a very, I felt like I was in, what's that word? To be honest, I don't like to use this word. I don't think I have a better word to describe this, but I felt like there was a dictator in front of me. And I remember there was a teacher, and I completely left my pen out of the a pen out of my I didn't bring a pen on that day for some reason. I couldn't find a pen, because the teacher stated that she only has she only has a short time face-to-face meeting with me, because I did not arrange an appointment. Now, obviously, there's no pain, and you just go up and you see the teachers. There's a jug of pain, and you just chuck some couple of notes and you put it back. And the moment I reached my hand and grabbed the pen, and she gave me this devil look. Why don't you have pen? And I was stated like, oh, you wanted to have this conversation for a short time. You don't want to have a very long conversation. And at that moment, she said, put it back. So I couldn't chuck all the information that she stated, because she was preparing us, you better write this down. And I know to you guys it seemed like, well, that's your fault. But the way how she used her expression, her facial, her body language is just very, very, you're like in a different atmosphere. And that is the first time I encounter. And there's another one is they will never say no to your face, and that is something that I've told to my classmate, who told her, like, they will never say no. And same with the corporate world, and same with the management. They'll never say no to you, because if you say no to you, then it feels like you have something to fight back. They'll make you to take no. They give you options to make you to take no, and feel like you're powerless and negative. And you got some of the teachers are very very upfront to you and saying that, look, you have a learning disability, and I don't think you're fittable for this industry, blah 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 blah. And I'm saying like, but I could be a role model. I have dyslexic, and I can help other people, misfits, and who high school dropout. That's me. I'm a high school dropout. I never learned how to read and write. I can be a great role model example for them. Blah blah blah. They don't care. All they care about is you writing a social policy. Okay, they just want to find out if Nick Canada to fit creating the bubble. So now many students has dropped out that I've known or not happy out of going have a one-on-one talk with the teachers. So it's sort of like me telling you, it's like you've been called and go to your boss and to have a face-to-face, and obviously whether it's good or bad. Now, whether it's a bad outcome, whether you don't make KPIs or annual report or anything, that's all right because you're still getting paid, right? Of course, if you feel like shit afterwards. But when you're in university, you are very tip of the edge because you have no income, right? And you try to invest so much time to go to university, wake up early in the morning, go to the library nonstop, and come back home with your eyes are being blurred as hell, and your mind can't even think straight, and just want to get to the bed and repeat 7 days of the week, right? But when you have this sort of conversation with academias and things like that, it just makes it educators. It just they don't really care. And yes, I understand. There's no point going to university nowadays. But I've never met an aggressive person that really dumps everything down what you're believing in. Where you once know teachers in primary school and high school. What will you want to be like when you grow up? And that is something that it's hard to overcome because I was one of them who dropped out. So it's something that I've never experienced or encountered in my life, and many of people, because you're paying them to teach you or ask help, pretty much, right? Now, if they don't deliver that and you feel like you're wasting your time,